Just doing a really quick video. Today is January 8th, 2021. I am recording for Darkgirl Chronicles. Hey. So I realized today is kind of important. I realized after the fact that today was kind of important. 8 years ago, there is a video that I made for Darkgirl Chronicles, like season 1, I think. Season 2. I think it's season 2. So, I was on my way to my divorce hearing 8 years ago, when I did a video, and yes, here I am, 8 years later, still divorced. Not quite married yet, to second husband, but might as well be married. Because I'm trying not to like screw with this camera, but you guys can see I have my wedding band on. I wear it now because my engagement band is kind of screwed up right now. So it keeps popping. I have to keep getting it resized, and so it keeps popping in the place where they have to resize it to make it bigger for my fingers. And so it's not wearable right now, but I in fact have my wedding band, and he has his wedding band. Brandon has his wedding band. It's just that I choose to wear mine right now because I don't have any other ring jewelry to wear that I can wear right now. So yay. In a couple of days we're getting some work done in our kitchen, and in a couple of days probably we might find my original engagement band that I suspect is under my stove. So because we're going to have work done in the kitchen, they're going to have to move my stove. So possibly we'll be able to find my original band, because I suspect it's under the stove. I lost it probably like 3 years ago. So, and he bought me my second one to replace it. So that one is like a white sapphire. The replacement one is white sapphire with a platinum band to match, platinum wedding band. And the original one was platinum band with an emerald solitaire cut. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's underneath the stove. We will find it 3 years after the fact. I don't think I personally lost it. I think because what happened was I took it off. I was cooking Christmas Eve, and I took it off and I sat it down on the stove, which was like problem number 1. I took it off and then like decided, oh hey, I'm gonna just sit this here while I go wash my hands and then wash my hair. And then when he got home from work, in the interim, after that, I think he cleaned off the stove for me. And then after that, we couldn't find my engagement ring. And I was like, engagement ring is not here. What did you do to it? And he was like, I don't know. I didn't do anything to it. And I was like, yes, you did. You need to find it. So you need to find it, or you need to buy me another one. Because when I last saw it, it was on the stove. So I suspect it either got swept out with trash. If it's not under the stove, which, like I say, we'll find out shortly. If it's not under the stove, that means it got swept out with the trash. So, yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see what happened there. So, like I say, if I find it, I will wear that. I will go back to wearing that, and I will get my white sapphire repaired at a later date when, plague isn't still raging outside, because I really don't want to go in a store somewhere and have to deal with that. So, right now. So, yeah. But yeah, happy divorce anniversary day to me. Yay. Like I said, I was super excited, super nervous when I went to court because I'd never done anything like that. Gosh, fun facts from that day. I did wind up going back home. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't wind up having breakfast or anything. I just went home because I was just like, I took some photos for the Me project that I was working on right then. I was almost finished. I had started it February of 2012, and I was fixing to finish February 2013, and I did. That was a year-long project where I took photos of myself almost every day, if not every day, like every other day, maybe every 2 days or so, of myself for a year, for an entire year. And then I like published the photos or whatever on my portfolio and on Facebook. So I've not put them on Instagram. I just didn't want to go through the trouble of uploading them all to Instagram because that would have taken forever because it was a lot of photos. So it's something like 150 photos. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. My mom was still alive then. She came with me to file for divorce that November, because I filed exactly 1 year after my ex-husband left me. I filed, he left me November the 12th, 2011, and I filed like November the 15th, 2012, because I meant what I said. I was getting out of Dodge. I meant what I said when I said I was filing for divorce. I was not staying in that marriage no longer than I had to. I did not feel like I should. It was not healthy. It was crazy. I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. It was crazy. I was working somewhere else. I lived in another state. I now am back home in my childhood home that I now own. I was working for a newspaper then. I am now an accountant. I am not a copy editor anymore in the sense that I do not work daily as a copy editor anymore. I love journalism, but it's not paying the bills. So I can't like rest on that and get a job doing that. I couldn't get a job doing it when I moved back home. So I had to go back to school, which I did. I went back to school for 3.5 years and got a degree in accounting. So I am now an accountant, and I went to work today. Trying to think what else is different. Like I said, my mom was still alive. She died in 2015. And I had already moved back to Columbia in 2014 in the interim. So a year after I got a divorce, I moved back home. And then she died exactly a year after that. So I've been living here now for 6 years. No, it'll be 7 years. It'll be 7 years in March when I moved back. Because I moved back in like I say, I moved back in 2014. She's been gone 6 years. So, let's see. My dad got remarried to his fifth wife. Sixth marriage overall. Yeah, there's that. I've been engaged now for 5 years. We got engaged 2015. Brandon and I got engaged. We started dating, 4 months after, we officially started dating 4 months after my divorce went through. So I have been with him for as long as I've been divorced. So 8 years. It'll be 8 years in April. I think we're talking about it earlier today that we will get married on our anniversary this year. I don't know. Probably, yeah, we might actually do it. We might actually take the plunge and get married on April 15th this year. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any more like fast facts here. Let's see. Yeah, we've been together 8 years. We were unofficially together for we've been unofficially together 9 years because we kind of sort of started. We casually dated for like a year before we made everything official. So, and when we were like, okay, we're in an official relationship or whatever, if you want to call it going steady, as the kids like to say. Um, we made everything official. We moved in together 2 years after we started dating. So 2015. April-ish, May-ish 2015 is when we started living together. So we've been living together for 5 years. Almost 6. It'll be 6 this May. So, yeah. A lot has happened in the 8 years since, since I got a divorce. It's been a relatively quiet 8 years. I can say that part. I spent most of the 8 years since I made that video, healing. I've aged. I was 32 when I got a divorce, and I'm almost 40 now. I've had several birthdays, about 8 years worth of birthdays there. I've, still no kids. I don't have any kids. I didn't have kids then, and I'm not going to have kids, here, because I am more than likely, infertile. More than likely. I don't know for sure. I've never gotten like a diagnosis from a doctor or anything, but I have struggled to get pregnant with at least 2 different people. So, I'm beginning to think it's me. So I'm pretty sure, I tried getting pregnant with my ex-husband, which that might have been divine intervention. But I cannot. I have tried numerous times since I've been with Brandon, because we both, want kids, and we jointly came to that decision that we wanted kids, and we wanted kids together. And looks like that's not happening. So I just, for whatever reason, I cannot get pregnant. So I'm pretty sure, no kids. So I'm child free, not necessarily by choice, but I'm okay with that decision, because, and with that way of life, I guess you would call it. I'm okay with that, because as my mother told me once, many years ago, that completely necessitates a whole change in the way you live and your priorities and, the things you do and the decisions you make. And I'm quite happy with the way my life is. I like being able to come and go and do the things I want to do and go the places I want to go, and I don't have to answer to too many people. The only people I answer to are myself and my spouse, and I don't even answer to him. So not really. And the same goes for him. We talk about things, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to whatever," and like when I was in school, he would go to cons. He would go to anime cons without me here in Columbia. Sometimes I would go with him, but for the most part, I was just like, God, I don't really want to go. And then on top of that, I don't really have the money for that right at this moment. And on top of that, I am, I've got school, I've got to study, and I couldn't afford to spend the time or the money that required. So there's that. So I wouldn't go, but he would go. And so I was like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, God, then you do that. I'll see you when you get back. So he would get me something while he was there. Like he went and got me some little grab bag box. I think it's up here on the dresser. This was one of the things he got me. So it's like $5 grab bag, 90s Nicktoons grab bag box. So I was like, that's kind of cool, I guess. I appreciate it. He's bought me some other things back. We don't tend to answer to each other. Common courtesy, we'll let each other know when we're going somewhere and we're doing something that doesn't involve the other. I have my hobbies and he has his. Now, our hobbies do intersect from time to time. We both work on Gaming Insurrection, and still, That's also, I was doing Gaming Insurrection then, and I'm still doing it now. So there's that. Like I say, I've gotten back into anime. And he watches a lot of anime, so that tends to intersect, and we play a lot of games. We like playing a lot of the same type of games. He doesn't like fighting games too much. I'm more into fighting games than he is. So there's that. So he doesn't play DDR nearly as much as I do either, and Stepmania. So like you see on my channel, I have a lot of DDR videos, and he doesn't really, I mean, he knows about DDR and he's knowledgeable about it, mostly just because by default he's with me, so he has to be. But he like soaks it up because it's just there. Like, that's one of my hobbies that he's tangentially related to, and so he'll ask questions, and he knows things about different artists and the games and things. So it's that stuff kind of overlaps, but for the most part, sometimes we have hobbies that we don't share. And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. One of the things about my previous marriage that really made me angry, and I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that now, is the thing about our hobbies not intersecting and not being the same, and I don't feel like I have to give up part of my identity to supplement his identity. I felt like I had to in my first marriage, that there was a lot of pressure to, well, you need to like the same things I like, and if you don't like the same things I like, I'm going to nag you until you do. Then there were the things that he liked that I didn't necessarily feel encouraged to like also. So it was just like, and then there were the things that I liked to do before I met him that I was not allowed to like after I met him. So just to give you an idea of some of the craziness, and this is why I say, I don't try to take anything from someone who has been physically abused in their marriage, because that's craziness, and nobody should have to bear the brunt of physical abuse while being legally tied to somebody. That's craziness. That is absolutely craziness. I will never, ever, 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 ever support anyone who is physically abusive to their spouse. Ever. But in my marriage, and not to invalidate my own self and my own experience, but I was not physically abused in my marriage. I wasn't. He never put hands on me, thank God. Because I'm pretty sure he knew he'd die if he did that. He was going to have to kill me outright. You'd have to just go ahead and kill me, because you ain't going to sit up here and beat me and then I stick around for you to continue beating me. No, absolutely not. Like I said, you're going to have to outright kill me. So and Brandon knows that also. We not ever going to have no physical abuse going on in here. There ain't going to be no abuse, period. But definitely not ever any physical abuse. And definitely I would never do that to my spouse either. But while I was not physically abused, I was emotionally abused. I was emotionally and financially abused. And a lot of people don't talk about emotional abuse, because generally when you think of domestic violence, it's violence. It's physical violence. But I was yeah, so I was definitely abused, emotionally abused, and financially abused. And let me tell you, that will never happen again. At any point that I feel like it's even looking like it's fixing the trend in that direction. Not saying that Brandon does this. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He knows better than that foolishness. But I refuse to let somebody do that type of damage and do that type of foolishness. And I let that go on for years. thinking, hey, I mean, I love this person. Why is this person like controlling me, and not even realize that you're being controlled and isolated and, being made to feel like your feelings aren't important and you should be more mature and you should allow me to do whatever it is I want to do. But when you want to do things not mature enough, and you need to not do that because that's not mature. It was that sort of thing. Well, and you can't possibly expect, you shouldn't be doing these things, but I can do them to you. You can't do them to me, but I can do them to you. It was that sort of thing. And then when he got caught and called out, and people started putting two and two together, now all of a sudden, well, what do you mean? I didn't do those things. Yes, you did. We have proof you did it. Why are you lying? And so then there was the lying. So yeah, when I tell y'all it was just utter and complete fuckery. Whew. And we ain't even start on that financial foolishness. My husband now knows better. No, my money is my money. Your money is your money. And you go out and work for your money. But you're not finna spend up my money too. And then think that I'm supposed to just give you money and do whatever with my money to take care of you. And I ain't gonna take care of myself. Oh no. And you're not gonna sit up here and run up my bills either. Oh no, we learned lessons. And that shit will never happen again. Ever. I die trying before I let that happen again. So yeah, the fuckery that was 7 years of physically being married to somebody who was deceitful and crazy and highly manipulative and just a liar, just absolutely a liar, and exposed me to disease, possible disease, because in addition to that emotional and financial abuse, he was cheating. And he seems to think that I don't know that he was cheating. I'm like, I know that you were cheating, guy. I know the people. I know exactly who it was. Don't sit up here and act like I don't know. At least I know of at least one. Like, I knew, okay? I put two and two together a long time ago. And the people that you were trying to cheat with. So no, if you weren't actually physically having an affair, which I'm pretty sure you were, emotionally having an affair with somebody for years. And then blew up your marriage, only to find out that she ain't want you. And she prefers the company of women to you. And your kind. I was like, oh, look at that. That's called karma. Y'all, that's the devil. I'm firmly convinced that the devil came and took a hold of him a long time ago. Poor little thing. His little soul is just all messed up. He got issues. And I'm no longer his wife to fix it. And I haven't been his wife for a long time. Nor will I ever involve myself with that foolishness ever again. Child. So, I mean, I'm so thankful for today. And what January 8th and January 9th mean for me. Because January 8th was the day of the actual court hearing. January 9th was the day I got my papers back and it said filed. And I was like, yay! Woo! I cooked that day. If I'm not mistaken, I also made a video that day too. And shared that I had gone and picked up the papers. I'm pretty sure I did because I was off those 2 days. I made sure I was off from work those 2 days. Then. So yeah, I'm super excited. Listen, it's been almost 10 years and we have now reached a point where we have been divorced longer than we were actually married. physically married. We were married on paper for 8 years. So that time is actually still the same amount of time. But because our wedding anniversary passed in 2012 between when I filed for divorce and when I stated my actual intentions to do so. So, which, let me tell y'all, I was told to file for divorce in July of 2012. I was told via text. I didn't get a phone call. I wasn't even warranted a phone call. I was told in this text that, hey, yeah, you go ahead file for divorce, cause you can end the marriage on your terms. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. I was upset. I was super angry. I'm not even gonna lie. I was beyond angry. But y'all know what? I was so glad. That gave me the out that I needed to go do what I wanted to do, and I did. When I got back, I was on a trip to Jacksonville to see my shitty ass sibling, and on a trip I really didn't want to take, but okay. So my mom, who was still alive at the time, was like, oh yeah, we need to go to Jacksonville because, you know, it's going to be my last trip. I was just like, I guess. Like, I mean, I guess. I got to see my niece and my nephew, and that was the bright spot of the trip. But it was just like, I guess I gotta ride down here for 5 fucking hours. So that's what I did. And I went, and when I came back, it was during this trip that I was told via text to file for divorce. And my mom and I had a good chat about it. And as upset as I was, she was like, well, I mean, you knew this was coming. Like, shouldn't be a surprise at this point. And I was like, it's not that it's a surprise. No, it's the finality of it all. And I didn't ask for this. I did not personally ask for this. I didn't ask to get a divorce. I didn't ask for my husband to just straight up abandon me and leave. I didn't ask to be made a fool of. I didn't ask to, you know, not even be worth a phone call to say, hey, yeah, we probably should file for divorce because this isn't going to work. Nah, I didn't even get that. I got a text. Nah, I'm more embarrassed and hurt than anything else. Not that this is a surprise. I mean, I knew this was coming. I'd already made up my mind anyway that I was going to file for divorce at some point. I just didn't think that I would do it right then or be told to do it right then. So, it wasn't that it was a surprise. No. It was the fact that I was discarded like trash. And then told to file for divorce. Like, you know, you asked for this, so I'm going to give you what you wanted. No, that ain't what happened here. I didn't ask for this. He did. So years later, I'm just like, God, what were you thinking about? Okay, well, be careful what you wish for. Because he got exactly what he asked me to do. He basically told me to go ahead and file for divorce. I was like, okay, well, all right, well, cool. I'll do that. I will go do that. I did it. And then it was like, well, you know, I mean, we could still be friends. No, we can't still be friends. We're not going to be friends. Try again. Fuck out of here with that. Because we're not going to be friends. So, I don't want to talk to you. I have no need to talk to you. The only thing I need from you going forward, the only thing I need from you is to sign my divorce papers. That was all I needed. And he did that. It took him a little bit. I guess he didn't think I was going to send them. I guess he thought I was going. I got the impression, and this was months later, but I got the impression that I was not supposed to, that I was supposed to fight for our marriage a little bit harder than I guess I did. I don't know. I never did find out what he thought was going to happen there. See, this is my thing. I was like, well, what you think what was your end game? Because what was your end game? You about out here like Thanos. You ain't got no end game. You ain't got no end game. Like there are multiple possibilities here, and you did not choose the correct one. I don't know what end game you thought was going to happen when you literally up and just left somebody. Did you think their life would stop? Because you wasn't contributing. You embarrassed the hell out of this person. You hurt their feelings beyond repair. And you basically let them know that you were lying to them every day for 7 years. You literally lied to their face every time you open your mouth, with the exception of your name, your birth date, and your social security number. You literally lied about everything else. Do you really think that they just gonna stick around and be like, oh, this is so sad. You understand me? We got to keep this marriage alive. We got to keep it alive. We got to ensure that this does not end. We got to have some type of contingency plan that, my God, he is the most needed and necessary thing in the world. We can't let him go. We can't just let him skip out of town to parts unknown and get out of that. Oh God, how will I ever go on? I don't know how I will ever go on. I guess that's what he thought was going to happen here. That's not what happened. This was the one scenario where that didn't happen. Actually, there was going to be several scenarios where that didn't happen. This is one of those several scenarios, because at no point was I like, oh, I just got to go save my marriage. I asked questions. I gathered some facts. Had a few discussions with some folks important to me. And once we start putting two and two together, you know, his usefulness quotient like decreased steadily as we start putting things and facts together. I was like, okay, yeah, you went from being 100% useful here. Hell, no, wait a minute. Let me back up. You didn't even start at 100%. You were at like maybe 50% useful when we started. Okay, for every bit of fuckery, every notch of fuckery that I could calculate here, every time something popped off that said, you know, that was a lie. That was also a lie. You know, he was lying when he said, he was lying when he said he was going to. Every notch of fuckery on that dial took it down another 10%. So by the time we got to the fifth thing where I was just like, this motherfucker is lying to my face, lying, just straight up lying. Guy, you was down to zero. You started getting into negatives. Like, so at no point was I going to sit here and be like, I should really probably save my marriage. Boy, this was not a moment at which, about like Doc Holliday, when he told him, the man said he wasn't fond of him. He said, well, I just don't know how I will ever go on. The sarcasm dripping in that statement. I just don't know how I will ever continue on in my existence. Boy, bye. Fuck out of here. No. You are so unnecessary to the equation here. My life continued on. And not only did it continue on, I improved things in your wake. The catalyst was you leaving. So no, I don't feel like I lost a damn thing. I really don't. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his end game was. I think this is a theory that my mother and I came up with many years ago. That I think he thought I was gonna chase behind him, and that I was gonna beg him to come back, and that after a certain point, I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year or so, he would, well, maybe I want to go back home and resume my marriage, and we work on it, and we see if it's still viable. No. No, because the answer was going to be no, very much no. No, sir. Nope, that's going to be a negatory. Not going to do it. I was not interested. After probably month number, let's see, he left in November, so probably December, January, when we had that discussion about, are you coming back? Once he said, well, I'm going to try to come back, and then you didn't come back. Well, no, okay, all right, I done took the signal. I took the hint. You didn't have to tell me twice. No, I got the hint. So no, that's a no-go. After that, nope, not interested. At any point, not interested. Oh, and at that point, I'd already started casually dating Brandon. So, yeah, I definitely was no longer interested in trying to make that marriage work at all. I really don't. Out of all of the possible scenarios, this was not one where he won. And he got what he wanted and did what he wanted. Because after a certain point, once he said, yeah, go ahead and you can end our, because his exact words were, and I remember this, his exact words were, you can end our marriage on your terms. Oh, okay. Woo! That so fast. Woo! And the same day, or maybe about 2 days later, I guess when I got back to Columbia, and Brandon and I had a talk about what exactly was going to go forward, what we were going to do going forward. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but that is the point at which you cease to be useful, guy. So I don't know. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish there, but it certainly didn't get accomplished, because he sure got them divorce papers about 6 months later. It was exactly 6 months, as a matter of fact. And he was told, sign, okay, go ahead and sign, or this will move forward without you. It really doesn't require you to sign. It can be done without you. And I am prepared to do this without your signature and you signing on this. You ain't got to even show up in court. All you got to do is sign these papers. You get a court, the court will send you a copy in the mail. And that's exactly what they did. So yeah, and when I tell y'all 8 years later, after the first year, man, but it wasn't even the first year. The first probably 6 months, I didn't miss him. No, I can't say that I missed him. I loved him. As a matter of fact, I saw, because on what would have been our 16th wedding anniversary, I found our wedding photos, and I made a very long post about what it means to have almost been married, what it would have been, what would have been 16 years, and that it was just another day now. It literally is just another day. It's been another day now for 7 years. So it really didn't signify to me until much later in the day. And I was like, oh yeah, it is Halloween, isn't it? Yeah, I hope we ain't got no trick-or-treaters, because yeah, we ain't finna be about that corona life. So I didn't even really think about it too much. But it was the fact that I realized that it was just like, Yeah, okay, all right. But I made a post about it, and I said, this person now, she never, ever, ever gonna be, never, ever gonna be, messed up like that. That's not happening. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he thought was gonna happen, but no, I don't miss that. I don't miss that life. I don't miss what it meant. I'm exceptionally happy with somebody else, and I have been for years. I mean, years. As far as I know, he is in a relationship with somebody else. I don't know if he's married or whatever. I don't care at this point. My friends who are mutual friends of his, they've long since stopped telling me about anything about what's going on with him. Like I say, I'm basically married to somebody else, and have been married to somebody else for like 5 years at this point. So yeah, I don't need to know about what's going on with him. I don't. I'm friends with his ex-wife, his first ex-wife. One day maybe I'll meet their kid together. I don't know. I have let that situation, I have told her, I said, well, if he ever has any questions about the time period that I was married to his biological sperm donor, feel free to send him my way. I'll answer whatever questions he got, and I'll be truthful about it. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, it's not that important. I don't think he has any questions, which is good, because he wasn't missing anything. He really isn't missing anything here. He better off just not knowing and asking questions. So yeah, I don't think that that will ever turn into anything. But like I say, I'm here if he had questions or anything. Yeah. So yeah. Yay, happy divorce anniversary to me. So this is a relatively short episode for me. Hopefully we're gonna start season 5. We in season 4 now. Hopefully we're gonna start season 5. We really should be in like season 9 or 10 here. So I don't even remember what season we supposed to be in. I started this in 2012, so really probably season 9. We're really just on season 4. Because I took some years off in doing videos and just didn't have time. Well, I got time now. I got all the time in the world, apparently. So, because we ain't going nowhere with this here pandemic. So, yeah. I'm glad I could get in here and do a video and talk about the accelerated recovery and healing that is me. I am super, super excited about that. Just thankful to have gotten out of that situation and be healthier, happier, less ignorant, more knowledgeable about things and how things work, and taking care of myself and advocating for myself. Because part of that is not putting up with people's bullshit and dealing with people's fuckery. And that don't just stand for paramours and boyfriends and husbands and none of that. No, that go for everybody. So if you out here doing some fuckery, guess what? I'm not fucking with you. And I'm gonna let you know I'm not fucking with you. So but the breakup of my first marriage was the catalyst for never allowing fuckery ever again. And yeah, as you have seen in the last couple of videos, there's some folks that are real mad about that. They're real mad. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So, I mean, you'll get over it, I guess. I'm guessing. It's not my problem. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.